Mixed reactions have continued to trail the move by ZAMFARA state government to shut down some broadcast stations who cover the political event recently in the state. The decision was born out of the fact that earlier the state government banned any form of political activities across the state as part of measures to further curb insecurity across the state. ZAMFARA state government is of the opinion that media houses that covered the said political event contravened its order, therefore must be sanctioned. As a result, the state governor ordered that those broadcast or these broadcast media houses must be shut down. To that effect, a statement was issued by the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, which faulted ZAMFARA state government's decision, saying the move is uncalled for. NBC emphasized that it will resist any attempt to cause a breach of law and order anywhere through the misuse of the broadcast media in Nigeria. Before, during, and after the 2023 national elections, as the commissions called on all industry stakeholders to resist any attempt to truncate the hard-earned democratic gains in Nigeria. It further stressed that any aggrieved person or institution with genuine complaints arising from unprofessional conduct or action by any licensed broadcaster in Nigeria is requested to follow laid-down procedures enshrined in the Media or Nigerian Broadcasting Code. It said, and I quote, "The Commission will not relent to discharge its mandate according to the NBC Act, Cap N11, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. All broadcast license holders are urged to ensure strict compliance and avoid any action inimical to democratic governance and peaceful coexistence in Nigeria," end of quote. This will form the focus of our discussion on Nigeria today. I am Lydia Odijochi. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. With me in the studio to discuss closure of broadcast stations in ZAMFARA is the Zonal Director, NBC Abuja Zone, Pauline Ehusani. Good to have you join us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Also, we're expecting the Commissioner of Information, ZAMFARA State, Ibrahim Dosara, to join us via Zoom. Also, via Zoom, we have a regular public affairs analyst, a friend of the family, a well-known public analyst, Jide Ojo. Good to have you join us again.
My pleasure. Good evening. Good evening, Nigerians.
Okay. Now, let me come to Pauline. Now, to you as a regulating body in the broadcasting industry, saddled with the responsibility of regulating, or you're like a watchdog on the broadcast space. Now, what can you say? What was your take on this development?
It is actually an unfortunate development. As the regulator of broadcasting in Nigeria, we have a mandate. We have laws that guide broadcast regulation. And only the National Broadcasting Commission is given that mandate, which is enshrined in the NBC Act, Cap N11, as you have mentioned, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004. In Section 2.1, subsection N, the Act stipulates that the Commission shall sanction any broadcaster that contravenes the provisions of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code and the Act setting up the Commission, and those who do not operate in accordance with national interest.
Okay. All right. Now, what would you say are the implications of this?
The implication is that anything done without following the procedures laid down or the rule of law can turn our democracy into a laughing stock. the National Broadcasting Commission is ready to ensure that all broadcasting stations abide by the rule of law and broadcast in a manner that conforms with every provision of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code. So we are up there doing the work. We are ready to ensure that the rules of broadcasting is adhered to. So if anyone has any complaint, because the public has a right to quality broadcasting, if anybody, any organization, or even the government has any complaint or views or listen to any broadcast that contravenes their own right, they have the right to complain to the National Broadcasting Commission. And Section 14 of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code has given guidelines as to how to complain to the National Broadcasting Commission.
It's okay. Jide, if you can hear me now, when you got wind of this development, what was your initial reaction?
Well, I'm shocked. This is very unpleasant development. Is very unfortunate. I really do not think that this kind of action should be tolerated in the 21st century, where a state governor wakes up and decided to usurp the power of the regulatory body and decided to shut down indefinitely radio and TV stations, making them to incur huge losses. Recall that this season there is a lot of political programs and paid advertisements, and these radio and TV stations definitely are going to lose a lot of revenue. More so with the threat that anyone caught should be arrested by the Commissioner of Police for prosecution. Since when did a governor of a state becomes the accuser and the jury? You cannot, if peradventure there is a breach of state governor's directive, there are due process that are laid down that ought to have been followed. You just had the zonal director of National Broadcasting Commission that there is a section 14, if I had right, says that it's only the National Broadcasting Commission that has the right to discipline any erring broadcast stations. If the ZAMFARA state governor wants to follow due process, the right thing will have been to write officially to the National Broadcasting Commission stating the offenses of these broadcast stations and asking that they be penalized. Alternatively, it is to approach the court and get a court order to effect the so-called ban or shutdown. But to administratively just issue a directive that these broadcast stations should be shut down and that anyone caught being in the premises of these broadcast stations should be arrested by the Commissioner of Police and prosecuted. That is arbitrary power. And as I said on another media platform earlier today, if this is allowed to fly, it then means that we have empowered state governors who are themselves inferior in the first instance to act continually arbitrarily under the subterfuge of insecurity to perpetrate all manner of shrinking of civic space. Because this is a civic space that is being closed down. We need education, we need enlightenment, we need voter education, we need civic education at this point in time. To hide under the allegation that because of security breach, these media houses are not supposed to go and cover political rally. They didn't create the news. And there's no way they are covering the political rally of an opposition party could be said to be a harmful practice. It is not unpatriotic, it's not unethical, it is not professional misconduct for you to go and cover political rally. Why then should you be slammed with a ban? And why not go through the regulatory agencies if you know that they have run foul of a directive by the state government? Why not approach the court? Why did you have to look at what has happened in Kaduna State, where already opposition elements are being denied the use of public spaces under one guise or the other?
Now let me come to you, Pauline, in the studio. Like he said, there is a procedure for such things. Now, was there any time in our history that this kind of action was taken, and what did the NPC do about it?
The kind of action from
shutting down.
There has never been a time when a state government or even the federal government decided arbitrarily to shut down any station. If there is any complaint from either the federal or state government, they had always recourse to the commission to uphold its rules. And when complaints come, whether it's from an individual or government or any other organization, the commission treats such complaints and investigation is carried out, and we know the procedures to follow. And then various categories of breaches carries various weights of sanction. So you cannot say because you don't want this station to operate, we should shut them down because they covered a rally. The INEC guideline has already given the media, they have the right to cover the political process right now, and the deadline for campaigns has commenced. So for a station to cover a rally, it is in order, because that is what the INEC guideline says. The Electoral Act has stipulated. It commenced in September 28th, and for even the governorship has also commenced since October 12th. So they have a right to cover the political process and to enlighten the people. Remember that as broadcasters, you have the responsibility to enlighten the people, to inform the people of activities in the public space. And as the 2023 election is near, they also have the responsibility to inform people about various political activities. And they are also mandated to cover every view, every political party that is ready to canvass for votes.
Okay, right now, let's take a break and listen to some respondents on this subject matter. And this was put together by our correspondent, Thomas Ubetere.
Well, the issues are simple that the state government had banned political rallies, which they expect that the media should also stay away from such events if at all they hold. And because a certain political party held a rally, and some of these media organizations, including NTA and Radio Nigeria, attended to cover, they were now sanctioned by the state government. To us in NUJ, we believe the action of the governor was illegal and unconstitutional because he has no such powers to do that.
Like I said, it's an executive power carried too far. There is no governor that has the powers to shut down any station, even including his own state station, because broadcasting and media in general is on exclusive list. It's not on residual, it's not on concurrent. And the Constitution has never given power to any individual, not even to government at the federal, not even to the regulatory agency to wake up in the morning and say, we are shutting down so stations. It's not possible. There are procedures that you must follow. And that has been established even at the court on several occasions. So, to me, the order of the governor of ZAMFARA State is basically an attempt to wage war against the media.
Welcome back. It's Nigeria Today, and my guests are still here with me. And unfortunately, we now have the Commissioner for Information, Zamfara State, Ibrahim Dosara, joining us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister.
Yes, we're all curious to know. We've been expecting you. Tell us, what's informed that shutting down, that decision from the state government?
Okay. In the first place, there was this airstrike by the military against one of the kingpin of the bandits, Bello Turji, which infuriated most of his followers, and they went on rampage in various communities, killing people, abducting them, maiming them, and raping women, molesting children. And as a result, there was a Security Council meeting which demanded that they should be given a kind of period, maybe between a week and 10 days, so that they would carry out operations that will tackle the mayhem being inflicted on the people by the bandits. The affected areas are Gumi, Bukuyum, and Anka, and some other towns. And the council requested that these local governments be shut down, the villages where they are inflicting mayhem on the people should be shut down, and some markets be shut down, some roads where the bandits are using to commit mayhem be shut down, and that will facilitate the security to carry out their operations. Now, it also requested that the political activities ongoing should be stopped for a period of 1 week and or 10 days, so that the military will clear up the environment to allow these things to go harmoniously. Now, these decisions were backed up by the state executive order, which was signed by the governor. Now, we made this publicly. We announced this to the hearing of everybody, and we sent letters that this is the decision the State Security Council asked the state government to take, and we took that. And unfortunately, one of the political parties vehemently, flagrantly violated this order. And there are 19 political parties, and none of them violate this order, but this political party. And as a result, there were infiltration of bandits in the state capital. And what we took action against the media is covering live the event by the PDP, giving them the opportunity to do unguarded speech. They made hate speeches which incited the public to come out and start engaging themselves into crisis, leading to the death of one person and inflicting injuries to others. And this is why we wrote, even before we announced, we wrote to the MBC that this is what some of the media organizations have done, and we are asking them to take action against them. But there was no action, and this had to make us take the decision of cordoning, sealing the premises. For the license, we don't have the opportunity to revoke or confiscate their license, but for the premises, it's within the state, and the government has the right to take any action against anybody that is trying to cause breach of security. And this is the reason why we took this action. And if you could recall, particularly I want to ask Jide, who is making analysis, what are the limitations of the freedom of press? Security is one of them. Public incitement is one of them. And I see no reason why we can say because we are press, we cannot obey the law. It's not practiced anywhere. We as
studio. I want to come to the studio now. Now you heard him. He said they wrote and nothing was done about it. I would like you to react to that.
Thank you very much. The letter from the ZAMFARA state government, which I'm privy to, is dated 15th of October, the same day in which the action was taken by the state government. If you write to the commission, I don't want to get into the content of the letter, but as I said earlier, if you complain to the National Broadcasting Commission, it is the guidelines are there in section 14 of the code. If you complain to the National Broadcasting Commission about a broadcast, for instance, if the broadcast contains hate speech or incendiary comments, the commission will investigate by writing the station, asking them for recordings of such broadcasts, and then taking a decision as to whether to sanction the station, to give the other party a right of reply, or to shut down the station.
All right. Okay, sorry. Let me quickly go to Jide. Jide, I know at this point you want to respond to some of the comments or posers that came from the commissioner right there. Jide. Okay, fine. We're still trying to connect with Jide now. You were.
Yes, I would like to add that when such complaints get to the commission, we ask the station, as I earlier said, for their response, and the stations respond. However, concerning the said broadcast, it was coverage of a rally, and that there were hate speeches made, and I believe that there are more problems in Zamfara state than political problems. Okay. We have issues of terrorist attacks and so on and so forth. And if you say the media should not cover and report to the people happenings in the state, how will the people know how to prepare themselves for what lies ahead, for what to expect?
So I want to give Jide an opportunity to respond here. Jide, go ahead.
Nobody said no press should cover other politics.
Jide, okay, now let's go back to the commissioner. Tell us what is the present situation now, as at this moment. What is the situation in Zamfara state as at this moment concerning the security situation, the attacks you mentioned earlier on? What's going on right now in your state?
The situation is that the security men are trying to apprehend some of the bandits that infiltrated into the state capital. And many people have been abducted in the state capital because of that function, which allow the bandits to join thugs and other political supporters into the town. And during the rally, a man was killed. 20 people were injured. And as a state government with the responsibility of ensuring security of lives and property, there is breach of security, and we cannot fold our arms to watch. We have to take any action to ensure that we give protection to lives and property.
Thank you very much for that response. We do hope that, excuse me, at the long run, peace and order is restored, and of course, the media is given the leeway to also carry out their mandate. I don't know, Jide, if you can, I'm told you can hear me right now. Can you quickly, in a few seconds, respond to the posers put out to you? Quickly.
Well, I didn't hear the poster, but let me just say.
The question is, Jide, the question is, what are the limitations?
What are the limitations of the press in carrying out their duty?
Yes. In this context, the issue in context is it was due process followed, is banning and shutting down. Listen, sir, is banning and shutting down the stations the solution? Could you not have invited the head of these media organizations to a meeting and give them a warning and say, look, what you are doing is injurious to the security of the state? and give them a warning. You can even report them. For instance, you can report the NTA and the FRCN to the headquarters in Abuja by writing. You can also lodge complaint with the National Broadcasting Corporation and the National Broadcasting Commission. You can lodge that complaint. That's the due process we are talking about. You cannot be
Well, I think it's a topic we should even talk more about another day, but that's all the time we have on Nigeria Today. We cannot end the program without thanking our distinguished guests for their insights and contributions. The Commissioner for Information, ZAMFARA State, Ibrahim Dogara, thank you so much for your time, and also to Jide Ojo, Public Affairs Analyst. We appreciate your time with us. And also Director, NBC, Zonal Director, NBC, Abuja Zone, Pauline Husani. We appreciate you for coming.
Thank you.
And also our viewers for always keeping the date. Don't forget, Nigeria Today airs weekdays at 7:30 in the evening on NTA News 24. You can watch this and other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm Video Didio. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
NTA News 24, news and more news.